Welcome to Everyday Nesbitt. So this is our Valentine's Day collab, and we will be doing this collab with 8 other channels. So we ask now that if you end up liking this whole collab, this whole video, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Alright, so our first question is, how did we meet?
How far back do you want to go?
We want to go back to the beginning.
So, I understand, as my wife told me, that she spotted me. Well, we used to work at the same place, but she told me we had some sort of big event or something for, I can't remember what it was.
Well, prior to that, I was working in human resources.
Oh, yeah.
And well, where we worked, they would give the employees
Bus passes.
like free bus passes to ride like the city bus. But they would have to come to HR to get the passes.
Yeah.
So they would have to present their employee badge and write like, you know, their name and sign off on it. And on this particular day, he came in and I saw him coming down the hallway. And I was just like, who is this man?
She saw me.
And the way he walked so confidently. And I had never seen no one our age walk that way. He just kind of like exuded this confidence. I'm not gonna go like so deep as to say that you were like flying in on a cloud or anything like that, but it was just really like nobody I know walks like that. Like they, you know, it's just full of life. And so he came in and he requested a bus pass and he filled out his information. But when he left, y'all, I was looking him up. I took his name. Disclaimer, y'all, I was being stalkerish, so I took his name and I was just like trying to find him in the system, like where is he at? What does he do? I had never heard of no one, you know, in art, because I was, you know, I grew up there. And, you know, in a small town like Gainesville, you pretty much know everybody. So in like the 6 or 7 different high schools in the area, I knew somebody that went to every high school. So I was just like, oh, y'all, do y'all know this person? Do y'all know Sean Nesbitt? And everybody was just like, no, never heard of him. So I go into the system, HR system, and I look up his phone number. So I started to call him.
Call me.
But he would never answer the phone.
I should tell you, same day, earlier that day, I went to a meeting and they were asking me, and these were ladies, they were asking me, you know, if I was, you know, how long I was planning to stay in Gainesville and if I was gonna find my wife here or whatever. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna stay here that long. They were like, you never know. One lady, she was like, I came here and I said the same thing. And I ended up getting married and I'm still here. It said, might happen to you. I said, I don't know, maybe so. So when I went back to our office and I was walking up to get my bus pass, it was almost like the Holy Spirit, he was right there. He said, that's gonna be your wife. I can still hear it. It was like, in my ear was like loud, like in like an audible voice. And it's like we didn't even know it. I didn't know her name. She didn't know my name, and I didn't even like act on that right then and there. And so I was like,
So,
okay. So I took my bus pass.
While
and
while we're interacting, you're picking up your bus pass. You're saying that you got that same. Well, I didn't know at that time. I just knew I wanted to know who he was.
Yeah.
So at that time, you kind of had got that from God, from like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So yeah, so I ended up calling the number.
She was calling.
And I was calling the number, y'all, for months.
She was trying to call me, see if I would.
And that number just rung and rung and rung and rung and rung. And I was just like, I would call that number from different phone numbers just because I was like, well, maybe he don't, you know. So fast forward, I end up seeing him at a company-wide gathering. It was like, we were having like a company picnic or something like that. And me and my cousin, we were just sitting and we were eating, and lo and behold, in the middle of the floor, because there were a group of people dancing, he was over there dancing, doing the electric slide. What was that? The electric slide? Or he was doing the cha-cha slide? He was doing the cha-cha slide. And I was like this, y'all. I was like, because my cousin's name is Keisha too, and I was like, girl, there he go. Like, I was just like, that's him. Oh my God, that's him. And he can dance. And I was just like mesmerized because he was moving, y'all, on the dance floor. And then I was like, so she kept saying, go talk to him. And I was like, no, I'm not going to talk to him. So push come to shove, months go by. And one of the guys in my department was going over to his department. What's his name? Kenrick. So Kenrick says, hey, I'll be back. I'm running over to, I can't remember your department. Growth management. And I was like, hey, Kenrick. I was like, wait, before you go, come here. Let me spit something in your ear real quick. And I was like, Ashawn work over there, right? And he was like, yeah. He was like, that's my boy. And you know, he was talking to me or whatever. I was like, oh, put me on. I was like, put me on. And he was just like, okay. He was like, oh, you know, Cameron was older than us. And so he was like super hyped, y'all. And I was just like, yeah, put me on. So he comes back. And I can't even remember how. But anyway, we ended up exchanging emails and talking via email for a while. And then he finally came over and took me out to lunch. And we used to go to lunch at a place called...
we used to go to... It was called Liquid Ginger, but the first date was...
No, our lunch date was the first date.
We went to Macaroni Grill.
Our very first date?
Yeah, I picked you up at your apartment. Because I remember you didn't want to like go out for dinner. Lunch was more comfortable.
Lunch was comfortable.
So I picked you up at your apartment.
Yeah, we always dated really, mainly in the beginning, we only really dated during the daytime. Yeah.
We went to Macaroni Grill. I still remember because I remember what you were wearing. I remember what I was wearing.
What I was wearing. And y'all, I had some luxurious, like some flowy hair. And I wore a white top with some jeans and some tan shoes and a tan belt. And I can't remember what you were wearing. I'm so sorry.
I remember I had a green, it was like a green and white plaid shirt and some jeans and some brown sandals.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I saw this man, he was so fine to me. And one day we decide we're gonna go out to dinner, and he stops by his apartment. And I just sat on the couch and just waited on him to finish. Like, I didn't like, you know, I just sat. And that phone started to ring. And I'm like, hey, your phone ringing? And he was like, oh, I don't answer that. That's just the internet line. And I was just like, what? You mean to tell me all this time I've been calling that phone? And it's just the internet line? Like, I felt so foolish. I felt like, oh my gosh, I was going off. All the times I was calling you, And you wasn't answering the phone? I was so upset. But that's how we met, y'all. We met at work.
We're gonna get through these questions.
We're gonna get through these questions, y'all. So, in 2022, how many years have you been together? So, we got together in
2016.
No, 2006.
No, why am I saying 16?
2016.
2006.
We got together in 2006.
2006. So it would be.
So it will be what?
What?
Why I can't count?
16 years together. 16 and a half years together.
Yeah, we just hit
15
our.
years of married.
Yeah, it'll be 15 years this year married. So yeah, y'all, that's how long we've been together.
How do you keep your relationship grounded? A lot of prayer and.
And what? What's that? What's this?
Not saying anything.
Oh yeah.
Listening.
Oh. I do the talking, he do the listening. Is that what you're saying? Okay. That I think we are best friends. Outside of prayer, we are friends. Like that's my, not just my husband, my lover. He is like my best friend. I tell him everything. He don't tell me everything, but I tell him everything.
She don't think I tell her everything.
Y'all know how y'all men are.
You only got 5 words to say. That's it.
That's it. And we got 1,000 words to say.
Yeah.
So he is truly my friend, and I know that within our relationship that he truly cares for me, not just like as a person, but he cares for my soul. He cares for my health, my mental health. Like, he cares for me. It's not just like this, oh, I like you. It's like, how are you? Like, sometimes he's like, how are you doing? You know, so a true friend, and that is what I have in a husband. Number 4, how do you instill values into your children? This is a good one.
A lot of talking.
Communication with our kids is like
A lot of communication.
Yeah.
And trying to set example ourselves. Like for example, this might seem small, but making your bed in the morning, that, you know, a value.
I just said that to somebody.
Keeping your house clean or whatever. So for me, it's very important that if we ask our kids to do it, that we also do it in the morning.
Right.
And so, not saying we're always perfect with that, but it's very conscious of me, because I know it's something that we ask the kids to do. So if I get up, if we happen to be getting up around the same time, I'll make sure that I make her to bed. A lot of times I get up a lot earlier than she does. But if I come back to the room, I know she sometimes has to just get up and go with the baby. But if I come back to the room, I'll try to straighten it up, because I want to set that example for our kids. So, you know, us asking them to do something that we don't do ourselves, that's not the example that I want to set. I want to set the example that we ask them to do something because we're doing it and we want them to do the same.
First and foremost, with our kids, we are leaders. And we are raising adults who are going to be leaders as well. And that's something that I try to stick in my head. Things that go on with them right now, we know will not be who they are when they grow up. So to instill certain values in them, they may not understand it now, which we always tell them. You may not understand the no now, but you will understand it later. And one of the other things that I am very strong about with the kids is self-control. Having the self-control and being okay being told no. Because you're not entitled to be told yes all the time. So that is definitely one of the other things. And of course, Jesus.
Yeah.
God has given a shine glimpse of all of our kids when they're older. I don't get that. But when I start to see them around other kids or other people, you know, in their age groups, God starts to show me, you're doing good. You're doing way better than you think you are. And I just be like, thank you, Lord. Because I get those every so often. Like, not often. I mean, I get those maybe once a year. So, yeah. What does a Christian relationship marriage mean to you? I'll let you go with that one.
What is a Christian marriage? I mean, it's just modeling, you know, living according to the word, to what God says marriage is. You know, what the reason why God created marriage, to be a picture of the love that He has for His people, a picture of the love that Christ has for the church. And, you know, the roles that we play, I mean, the whole thing is just to really be a picture of God and to create more images of God. You know, create more image bearers, be fruitful and multiply. You don't want to hear that. We've done that. But you know, sacrificial love. Man is supposed to, you know, and however you take it, lay down his life for his wife, for his family.
Right.
Submission, just like when we submit to Christ, the wife submits to her husband, you know, all of that, but all of it, and we submit to each other, but you know, all of it is, you know, meant to show aspects of who God is. And so people should be able to look at us and see, you know, together along with our children and see a picture of God.
Right. I feel like, and I don't know how everybody else feels about their spouse, but for me, I feel like our love is so rare and I do not take it for granted. But I do know that that I will only get this one. And after this, there is no other for me, you know, so.
When you said that, it made me think about, I remember we were dating and you used those words. You said, "Cause this is it for me."
I do.
I remember that. I remember that
This is
so
it.
clear. All right. How do you get through the tough times? Prayer again. I mean, there's lots of things that could be like tough, but
it depends on your level of tough.
Yeah, I think I just remember those vows, take them seriously, and you know, before that day, you know, making up in my mind that I was gonna be true to those vows.
He don't have a choice anyway. Cause he know who he married. He know who he married. And he know I ain't with a whole lot of stuff.
Nope.
But I love my husband. I know he loves me. Like, I used to do this in the beginning. I used to be like, you love me?
No, she used to just randomly asking, are you cheating on me?
You love me?
Yeah. Those were her two questions. You love me? You cheating on me? Just
just random like, hit him with it. Like, because I need to see how quickly
like
you respond.
Like unexpected. Like why are you
be
even,
like,
why are you
What is this? Why are you asking me that? I'm like, because I just want to see what you're going to say. You know, I used to get him, y'all.
She used to get me. But we have been through some tough times. And tough in a lot of different ways. I mean, tough in terms of relationship, tough in terms of financial, tough in terms of spiritual, sometimes all of it at one time, you know. And so just just a lot of prayer, a lot of learning how to be open and communicate is something that I've had to learn a lot of. I think she was always more free in that area of just kind of like saying how you feel in the moment. I was always much more measured, probably too calculated in a lot of the things that I would say.
Yeah.
Instead of just really being honest and open no matter how she reacts. I think that's what she would prefer.
That's what I prefer.
Even if she reacts in a certain way, even if she reacts, you know, whether if she blows up or she shuts down, she would just rather me be honest.
Right.
No matter how she reacts.
Don't worry about how I'm gonna react.
And
like,
so,
because I used to say to him all the time, I was like, you're gonna die. You're gonna die because you hold in everything. Like, it's like a robot, but you know, like like you know how those people, they just hold in everything and then one day they just kind of explode. I was like, get it out. Even if you can't talk to me, go talk to somebody. And I just was always so worried. Like, don't worry about how I'm gonna react. Like, try me and see. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna react, but I don't want you to be so concerned with that to the point where you can't express yourself and get your emotions out. That's just not right. It's not ever gonna be that type of situation with me. Like, also me explaining to him that I am a safe place for him. And the space that we share together, if he ever feels like he wants to be vulnerable, he can. And there will never be any judgment. So I think it took him a while to get there. It took him a while to get it. Like, I mean, shoot, I think we just kind of hit a breakthrough recently with some stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think as a wife, when your husband's going through a tough time, it is like you're the gatekeeper. You should know, even without him saying, you know, that something's up. Because I know, let me tell y'all, I know when something's wrong with my husband.
She knows, because she'll ask. And I'll know that she's asking because she perceives something is wrong, even if I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Even if I say, no, I'm all right, she'll be like,
no, you're not.
I know you're not.
But it's okay. You know, I don't want you to feel like, I just basically just need you to know that I know.
Yeah.
It's not like I need you to tell me. It's like, give you your space and you'll tell me whenever you're ready to tell me. So that's just letting him know, hey, I know something's up. Sometimes going through the tough times is knowing when and how to fight and who you're fighting against. It took us a while. It took us a while because, you know, not really seeing the enemy, you know, in certain things, and we ended up feeling like, you know, we were actually against each other when we really weren't. We would talk so much to the point where we would not go to sleep. We've had those nights where, you know, we're gonna figure this out, and sometimes that's just how it has to be. Because I'm gonna tell you, as soon as you let the enemy in, he's coming in to kill. He's coming in to destroy. He's coming in to steal. And we cannot let that happen. So sometimes you have to war it out. Not physically, but you know, conversation, prayer. You just have to war it out, because the enemy's job is to ruin our family. The enemy's job is to ruin the black family. The enemy's job is to take out our black fathers and husbands. And that can't happen on my watch. So when you're fighting through the tough times, fight smart. Fight with your heart and on your knees.
What is the first thing you say to each other when you wake up? Good morning.
Good morning. My husband says, good morning, beautiful. Or, yeah, that's what he says.
What I
good
usually
morning,
say.
Beautiful. 15 years, I'm used to it.
She doesn't believe it though.
And let me tell y'all, if my husband wake up in the mornings and he have coffee in his hand and I don't have no coffee, I'd rather him just slap me. I'd be hurt. I'd be like, what?
Seriously.
Cause that's our thing. That's our thing. So I'd be like, you can't be that busy. Like, there's no call worth it. There's no call worth me being hurt like this. What do you feel is the most important skill to have for a successful marriage? The most important skill to have is, first you need to know how to pray. But after that, I want to say laugh. Laugh, 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 laugh. The most important thing to have when it comes to your spouse in your marriage is to always think the best first. Let me tell y'all, it will save you so much heartache. Always think the best of your spouse first before anything else. It doesn't matter what anybody else say, what anybody else think. You live with your spouse, you know your spouse more than anybody else, and you always think of that person first, and always protect what you have.
Assume that they're coming from the right place.
Right.
Your household comes first over anything else, and to not be afraid to take that stand. If there's an issue or a problem, if your spouse is expressing that there's an issue, you know, you stand with your spouse.
Okay, number 9. How do you handle disagreements?
At the beginning, it was hard.
Y'all, we were like in a boxing ring.
At the beginning, it was really hard.
Ooh.
Because we didn't know.
I don't even remember them people.
We didn't really know how to talk to each other. And my wife has always been the person that would just say what she had to say. It didn't matter how it came out. And just like she would say, I was always the person that would hold back, but then those times I would just like blow up and it would just all come out at once. And that was just,
yeah, it'd be stuff like 6, 7, 8 months pass and he's like throwing it out.
It just all comes out.
Like little, like what they call them when you open your palm and fire just starts coming out your palm.
Yeah.
And then now at this point I'm like, oh, hold up, let me glove up, like, cause that happened like a whole year ago, you know, something. Why am I just hearing about it now? So you know, things like that. So, but
I would say now, I think learn how to, like I said, learn how to listen to each other, learn how to, you know, not wait to talk about disagreements.
Right. I think we are really good about that. Like, we don't wait. We don't hold it in. It's like we'll have these things where, like, I'll say to him, hey, we need to talk, like, today. Or, you know, say I'll just throw it out, hey, whenever you have a moment, you know, let's talk. And
which
it don't
means like you got 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But sometimes our disagreements could be something that have nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
at all. When you're having a disagreement, you want to make sure that, not to say that he has to come over to my side or I have to come over to his side. I think we're doing really well now with just respecting each other's stance on whatever the disagreement is. And I know not to cross a certain boundary with him, and vice versa. He doesn't try to force it, but we kind of meet in the middle. So we've learned very well how to compromise on a lot of things, but it has kept us, because like I feel like we don't even argue. We don't even argue, y'all. We don't even.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
So we're gonna skip number 10.
Will you have more children?
No. The answer is no. We are not planning more children. We don't want no more children. I don't want no more children. My husband still owes me for the kids I've given him. I need my money. Give me my money. Give me my money. What?
Are we having more children?
No. Number 11, it says, when you guys become empty nesters, what's the first thing you'll do? So guess what, y'all? We ain't gonna never be empty nesters.
I don't think we'll ever be empty nesters.
Zoran was born when he turned 40, like 2 or 3 weeks after he turned 40. And I was 39. And I just remember always like doing the math, like, you know, by the time he's ready to leave the nest, we will be like 60, pushing 60.
We'll have grandkids.
We'll have grandkids by then. And so we'll never be empty nesters, y'all. And I don't know how I feel about that. All right, so last question is, what does happily ever after mean to you as a couple?
That's a good question because, you know, I don't know, I guess I'm just more realistic. I know we've been married for 15 years. We don't know, who knows what the future holds. Every year might not be a happy year.
Right.
In the sense that, you know, I mean, it could be some tough times ahead, but you know.
Okay, I want to make this clear though.
Yeah.
With us, I feel like even in our bad years or bad times or bad whatever struggle, I still feel happy. There's still
some happiness there.
There has not been a moment where we've been through anything where we felt like, you know, we gotta go. We're unhappy with each other.
Say joyfully ever after.
Yes.
Joyfully ever after.
Joyfully ever after.
Yeah.
I feel like we just fight different now. And if I go through any struggle or anything in my life, I want to go through that with this person. I'm not lying. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. He has a level of strength for me that just makes me always feel like everything is going to be okay. And I've never gotten that from anybody. I'm serious.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we got through the 12 questions, you guys. We are going to enjoy the rest of our dinner. Yeah, so is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
Well, we just thank you guys so much for watching our video, this Valentine's Day collab with Melanin Moms. And we ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel like sharing, share this video. But I'm gonna enjoy my man for the rest of the night. I don't know about what y'all finna do, but we finna finish eating and having good conversation. All right, good night.
Night.